Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day. During his visit to Miami, Florida, the Department's Secretary of Tourism reached important agreements with an American airline, which will greatly benefit the reactivation of tourism in our islands.
It was a meeting to promote our tourist destination with the presence of tourist agents from the United States and an important U.S. airline, which will inaugurate the new Miami-San Andres route in December for this year. The head of the tourism office said that during the meeting they had the opportunity to promote the natural beauty and biodiversity of our seafarer biosphere reserve, as well as the gastronomic and cultural richness of our archipelago.
Today we were in a working meeting with the commercial managers of American Airlines here in Miami, Florida. With them, we were able to present that we are as a tourist destination, the relevance that we have thanks to the certifications and awards that we have received. Therefore, we are very optimistic about the meetings we have been holding here in Florida, and we clearly hope that these meetings will bear fruit and that the Insular Department will be benefited from each of the activities we have been doing.
This business conference was attended by agents from the North American country who expressed their interest in visiting and selling all our tourist destinations in order to establish alliances that will make the island and tourist destination of interest to U.S. tourists. The meeting also had the support of ProColombia, Cotelco, Anato, Acotres, among others.
With the purpose of helping citizens regarding security and coexistence issues, different entities of the island carried out a citizen service fair.
The Attorney General Office of San Andres, together with the ICBF, Migración Colombia, Government, and Health Secretariats, are holding a citizen service fair in the Morgan Canyon Square, where the community can access the services provided by the institutions.
We come out this morning to invite the community in general to have access to all the service what the different institutions of the nation give to us. Here, so today we have the reception of the knowns. We have information inviting the people them to come out and the knowns and to learn you all what rights you have to in the different institutions. Today we have the company of different institutions like Gobernación, Instituto Colombiano de Bienestar Familiar, Migración Colombia, and Policía Nacional. So we all invite you all to come out and visit our stand, because here so you're going to have the information that you need for the known different crimes that happening in San Andres during these last 3 months.
Estamos aquí presentes.
We are here so that the inhabitants of San Andres know what our institutional offer is, how we are working so that the coexistence and tranquility of the inhabitants and visitors is maintained in our island environment.
This fair seeks to address all concern and guide citizens of the various issues they have in terms of security. This activity will go until 1 p.m. today.
And in other news, the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management announced the date on which the national drill will take place throughout the country.
This October 7, between 9 and 11 o'clock in the morning, the national drill will take place, led by the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management. The emergency of the activity will be defined by each city, as well as the actions to be taken.
El próximo 7 de octubre.
Next October 7th, we will once again carry out the Grand National Drill. I invite everyone to participate in it in different ways. First, among our family, in our environment with self-protection. Secondly, at the workplace, at school, what plans we have, what we do if something happens, where we are located, where we are in our family nucleus.
In addition to integrating actions for self-protection, the most important prevention exercise of the year will have its maximum expression in the drill itself.
En segundo lugar, viene la simulación.
Secondly, there is the simulation for decision makers and operational entities. It is a desktop exercise. Thirdly, the drill itself, the evacuation routes, the meeting points, the event that may occur.
The National Emergency Response Drill seeks to improve planning, coordination, and communication between public and private entities and the community for an effective response to events generated by different threatening phenomena.
Yesterday, the participation of the environmental corporation CORALINA began in the International Environmental Fair FIMA. According to the leader of the corporation, the number of people visiting the stand is significant.
More than 70 visits have been received by the corporation stand in the city of Bogota during the International Environmental Fair, where relevant environmental actions of the department are exposed. CORALINA Director Arnie Britton highlights the good result of its participation in the fair, taking into account that the topics that are being worked on in terms of ecological restoration, reforestation, coral restoration, and the 600,000 coral fragments that are planned to be planted in 2022, among others.
We have attended several academic events. We have a very important presentation. Tomorrow we will give a presentation on the entire laboratory protocol of the black crab, taking into account that the black crab is an emblematic species of ecological, economic, and cultural importance for the department.
All crab laboratory processes will be shared, results and challenges for the protection of the species.
A new campaign against human trafficking was launched this week in the department, an initiative that focused on the prevention of this crime.
The local government advances a strategy of prevention and detection of risks of human trafficking with emphasis on minors on the department. Through works and pedagogy, it seeks to prevent children and adolescents from becoming victims of this crime.
Uno de cada 3 personas víctimas de trata es un niño.
1 out of every 3 victims of human trafficking is a child. For the administration and government secretariat, it is fundamental and important to carry out these prevention, information, and dissemination campaigns so that children can protect themselves. The Departmental Committee for the Prevention of Human Trafficking is visiting all the schools on the island. This week we started the visits. We have already visited 10 educational institutions and we will continue.
The campaign against human trafficking has technical and pedagogical support from Migración Colombia, ICBF, and the Childhood of Adolescents Police, promoting prevention campaigns and technical assistance for capacity building to identify victims of the crime.
And in other news, the process by which the Departmental Assembly will elect its new General Secretary has begun.
The Departmental Assembly announced that the call for the election of the professional to occupy the position of Secretary General of the Departmental Duma is now open.
At this moment, we are opening the call to elect the universities that will accompany the Assembly in the process of the General Secretary. So we are inviting the community to keep an eye on the Assembly's webpage so that those interested in becoming Secretary General of the Departmental Assembly of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina can follow the process.
Regarding the requirements to be taken into account by the applicants, the President of the Duma indicated.
To be a professional, there are not too many requirements. They are similar to those of the Comptroller. The invitation is to read the webpage where you will find out if you meet the requirements.
In this way, the corporation invites all those interested in participating in the process to know the public details on the web portal of the Duma.
And at this time, we continue with all the sport news of our department with Victor Fusalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. The softball activities began and the league is working hard for the benefit of this sport. Softball, a very popular sport activity for the different sectors of the island, will start its local, inter-neighborhoods and novice tournaments. Tournament will play for the neighborhoods and for the peace. With more details, the president of the league, Orlando Narváez, told us.
Inauguramos el torneo interempresa con 5 equipos. Hoy finalizó un relámpago.
We inaugurated the intercompany tournament with 5 teams today. We finished a short tournament for 50 and up. In addition, we also had a reunion with the tournament. Rookies play for your community and play for peace, which is mostly rookie players from 14 to 25 years old, players who have not played baseball and softball before. We have an invitation at the national level, which is a national tournament, U19, in the city of Santa Marta in November. This was for September and was postponed for the month of November, where we have 80% of the players of Old Providence Islands, and the other percentage we have here in San Andres. In the same way, we have an invitation to the 50 and up tournament in the city of Valle de Par from the 7th to the 10th of October, in which San Andres have 2 teams that will be participating. Victor, the idea is to reactivate softball in such a way that everyone can participate in the different tournaments that we have.
Softball, a sport of tradition, continues to fight hand in hand with the President Orlando Narvaez to delight and integrate the community.
Football exchange between Valle del Cauca and San Andres schools, looking forward for the benefits of the players.
In an effort to encourage Island and Valle Caucano football players, a football tournament was held in which clubs from the island participated with others from Valle del Cauca. This tournament also serves as a showcase for the island players to be seen by the Valle Caucanos coaches who offer opportunities in the schools to the island players.
I am a representative of the club Valle Caucano. We came here to get acquainted with the clubs of the islands. We wanted and also want to see the quality of the players that the San Andres Island has.
This is what Coach Carlos Caicedo from Valle del Cauca told us.
Well, excellent, because exclusively we had in our club Dorlan Linian, who is in Real Santander. We also had Donovan Forbes. They also passed through our school as part of our training process. So we have also been a good element to take these boys to the professional level in their training. And we think it is good to be here because we see the level of competitive players to continue in a good process.
Professor Caicedo also advised island players who want to become professional football players.
Have discipline, believe in God, have faith that everything can be given. We invite you to be part of any institution. There are many, including ours. We have an open enrollment if you wish. Here we are watching players with the Valle Caucano Club.
The Valle Caucano Club opens its doors to the island players.
And this is all in sports for the moment. I am Victor Fusalba, Teleislas News.
Thank you, Victor. Now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for today, September 30th. In the coastal area of Archipelago, the sky is mainly cloudy. Temperature is 31 degrees Celsius with wind from the northeast direction, with intensities of 14 kilometers per hour. Humidity forecast is of 71% and probability of precipitation is of 15%.